Okay, so what we have here today is a new machine to me. It's an IBM PS2 model 3286. So this has, I believe, a 10 megahertz 286 right there. It has 1 meg of RAM, which I hope to upgrade. Has a 20 megabyte hard drive, 1.44 megabyte floppy, which I just put this in. I needed to replace the old one. The old one just didn't work, so I got this one. Hopefully it works. So, you know what, without further ado, oh, and along with it, yep, it's a Model M. So that's nice. So let's turn this thing on. Now, it does have a dead clock battery, of course. The Dallas real-time clock is dead. So we're going to have the 161 and 163 error, but we can just continue on by pressing F1. And the hard drive, as of last time I used it, still works. Yep, there we go. Now this was used in some sort of kiosk thing. Yes, it cannot find the EGA card. It's using VGA. This, with many, hold up. This is the EGA card. Now this had many things with it actually, because here is a daughter board for the EGA card that goes into there. And there's also a, where'd it go? Here we go. So this plugs in there, doing it with one hand, and then this goes to a second ISA slot. So it has just connectors on, and well, there's EGA. And I guess that's extra RAM. But with this in the machine, since I don't have an EGA monitor, and I guess VGA gets disabled when this card is in, I can't see anything, so it needed to be taken out. But it's a, this thing is a beast. But cannot use it until I get an EGA monitor, but whatever. So the only thing I can do is press 0 to exit setup or whatever. And it's going to complain about something else not being there. Yeah, cannot start that. Abort. And now we're up to the C prompt. And what do we have on here? We have DOS. IBM Personal Computer DOS version 3.3. Now let me see if, where is it? Again, okay, here's a floppy disk. Let's see if it actually, if this one reads. Sounds good. Okay, nice. All right, so that is okay. That's a Windows 3.11 installer disk. So that's good. I'm gonna be not using DOS 3.3. I'm gonna do a install of maybe 6.1 or 6.22, maybe, or 5. The thing is, okay, like I said, it has 1 meg of RAM. And this memory actually is proprietary basically to this machine and the 50Z or 50, 30 and 50, I think use the same. I mean, it's 30-pin SIMs. So many, let me clear out some of this. Okay. Many years ago, I had a PS2 Model 50Z. And I got this RAM card upgrade for it many years ago, yeah. And if I remember correctly, this has, oh, I already took one of the sticks off. I think it's 8 megs of RAM. So I read somewhere that the 50Z and this 30 uses the same type of non-standard RAM. So let me pop those 4 sticks out, pop 4 of these in, and let's see what happens, shall we? Old ones out. Well, still old, but the other ones of unknown quantity, although I do really want to say that this whole card held 8. So that would mean it's 8 sticks of 1 meg. Let me put the riser back in. Not that it matters at this point. All right, let's see if this actually works, what we have on the screen. The RAM works with it. Ah, drat. We are limited to 1 meg. Wait, that has to, it's the same amount of RAM. So that board, yes, only had 2 megs of RAM. Ah, that's disappointing. Although I know I have sticks of RAM that work with this machine. I do have other 30-pin sticks, but they are probably not going to work. So, I'll be right back with this, see what I'm going to do. All right, well, after a good think, so I got this. It is a low-tech 2 megabyte EMS board. I originally bought this for this guy because I think it's just in my latest video before this, getting TCP/IP working. I found out that I had 2 Boca RAM cards in here for RAM. One of them stopped working, and so I wanted to get this back up with both two RAM boards in it. However, thinking about it, I came to the realization again that I cannot use UMB and LIM, expanded memory, at the same time. I can, if I'm running Windows, that's the only thing that uses LIM in the configuration. I cannot have UMB set up. So I realized then it's like I can use that card for both, just depending on what configuration I want. So why would I even need this in there? So when Windows would start up, I would, call the same address space as what UMB would have. It doesn't, it's because UMB is not active. So that, all right. So this would not be helpful in there. Oh, it would, so in some ways, but you know what? I'm going to see if this will actually work in here. do realize, you know, it is an 8-bit card, so we are choking it a bit because it is a 16-bit bus. And I have not seen any reference online to see if this actually does work in this model. But you know what? Why not have us try it out? It needs extra software, maybe. I'm just gonna play around and see if DOS or Windows will detect it by itself, because we're not running in 8086, 8088. It's a 286, so it has a little better memory, management. So yeah, so I'm gonna stick this in here, and then I'm gonna start installing DOS 622 and see what happens. All right, pop that guy in there. We have our MS-DOS 6.22 setup disk. Let's fire it up. Yes, I was not expecting to see 3 megs here, by the way, because it is, yeah, limb expanded. And I do have the, I mean, it's a new board, so, I mean, I have the drivers. It's not going to be as, if it does work, it's not going to be as fast as, you know, actual RAM, but, so, wait a second. Oh, yeah. So I need to, I'll F-disk and format this. Actually, you know what? Okay, here, do I have, is edit on here? No. Wait a second, it doesn't set path. I'm curious as to, all right, so DOS 3.3, I'm not very familiar with it at all. Okay, cancel. Okay, cancel. So edit's not in DOS 3.3. I think it was introduced in 5. So I'm curious as to what our auto exec and all right, so that's the only tip. That's what it wants to run. Okay, and what is our are we at C? We're on C. All right, not much going on. I cannot run tip, whatever that is. So yeah, let's just beep boop. Let's do F-disk, blow C away, and kind of feel bad about doing. I do. But then again, I don't. All right, you know what? Let's just do it. Get rid of get rid of delete the partition. Yes. Am I sure? Go ahead. All right. Now I believe that we can just have DOS install, do the formatting. Anyway, I'll get back to you if something interesting happens. So we're having the DOS installer format our drive. I just wanted to actually, and I do have the faceplates for it. Ooh. There's some bad sectors there. Faceplates are there, so we're good. The thing that I was kind of, that I was hesitant to actually get rid of what was on there is because, I mean, like, it's right now, I'm dependent on this floppy drive working, which I just got. It seems to work okay, but you never know. You never know. So if the floppy drive busts out right now, there's nothing I can do with the system. Again, until I, get another drive, which I don't feel like buying another drive for it again. So in the meantime, while this is doing its formatting and probably finding some bad sectors, because that was grinding a bit, but all in all, I mean, it's a nice, pretty quiet drive for its age. Let's see, I'm going to be a little scatterbrained, but if you follow along with me, so we can, of course, have the same type of hard drive setup as we did with this guy. Have the low-tech XT IDE. Is it low? No, it's not low-tech, it's just XT IDE. And have that off of a compact flash. And as you see, like, this power supply only has power going to the motherboard. There's nothing for the drive. The drives get their power through the data cables. And instead of splicing out, I could either do the compact flash or I could do the disc on DOM, disc on module. So I mean, I have ways if this, when this hard drive actually goes. But you know what, I'm feeling more nostalgia with this machine, I guess. Actually have an old machine with the mechanical hard drive. If it still works, you know what, I'll keep it in as long as it works. I mean, this guy, I'm referring to him again, but the MFM hard drive was bad, and I did do a 3.5-inch IDE in there for a little while, but compact flash was a better choice. This guy, yes, I did have the SCSI stuff working on there, but the SCSI to solid SD card. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to get here, but a 20 meg hard drive that's still working like this. Yeah, I think this, and of course too, I mean, apparently this is like, okay, so the 30 is kind of proprietary, not in the sense of its bus, because this is actually one of the few that have ISA slots instead of like this is for the 50Z. It has the MCA slots like the 56 that I have down there. So not in terms of that, but like as I pointed out before, memory is semi-proprietary. The controller, and the cable and everything else for the hard drive is weird. It's not, I don't, from what I can gather, it's basically MFM. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not, I don't believe it's ESDI. So it's like some kind of interface built off of MFM, but obviously it's not an MFM connector. And let's see, the 50Z was ESDI. I'm almost 100% sure of that. And I don't feel like looking it up right now. But anyway, here we go. The machine believes that it's January 4th, 1980. Okay. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter because the clock is bad. And, oh, okay. That was another thing. You know, these things are notorious. And a lot of computers that use them, if this fails, you'll have a boot, the booting will loop, and you can't do anything until you get a working clock. This one is nice. It gives, okay, you know what, press F1, we're all good. And the only thing it forgets is the time. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how this thing is configured in the sense that that it knows that it has a 20 meg hard drive and a 1.44, like, where is that information stored? Because, like, if you switch out the hard drive, you know, wouldn't it, I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me, because where is that information stored if the battery is dead? But at any rate, you know, we're installing, it's that floppy drive is working as was mentioned in the eBay listing. Hard drive is working fine. I don't know if there are any bad sectors. I'll do a check disk afterwards, but at this point, yeah, just a standard DOS install. I'll be back later. Well, that was a bust. Try to load the LTEMM into config.sys, and the machine would freeze every time. So I guess we are limited to 1 meg. And as I mentioned before, I mean, like, DOS and 286 has a little better management on it, because as you can see, I mean, that there's stuff above 1 meg, the 384. DOS was put in, you know, MS-DOS is resident in high memory already, so, you know, we have 595K free. All right, and I ran this to just, you know, my suspicion about the drive, which was correct. So it has 18.5K in bad sectors. So yeah, that's what happens. So next thing. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we can do with these. I'll install DOS networking. See if we could get this 3-con Etherlink 3 up and running. And I have a Sound Blaster 16 right here. Yeah, might as well try them out, right? What's the harm? Okay, I have a very, very weird problem right now. So in DOS, booted up from the hard drive, I cannot run any setup applications. But booting from, I booted off the 6.22 installer again, and I was able to read this disk just fine. Oh, created that into its own. Ooh, that's. You know what, let's, actually, just to make sure I copy everything. Let's see. All right, so that will do it. So, okay, I probably should have demonstrated this before I started to do this, but let's just wait through this copy. So yeah, I mean, like, okay, as you're seeing right now, the floppy drive is running fine. It installed DOS, you know, without any issue. But there's just something fishy about it. And let's go. Come on. So yeah, okay, well, this is a good show because everything's copying over correctly. Yeah, nice. Okay, so if we go into C, and now I just want to make sure that everything is here. Okay, and we go into A, and we go into blah 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 setup. So yeah. Reading, everything is beautiful. All right, well, now let's exit. And let us reboot the machine. And I'll show you what happens. It's just, I can't explain it. It makes it seem like it's a bad disk, but as you saw, everything is working fine. Back in, it's the same disk, the exact same disk. Boom, see all the files there? Now let's run setup from A. What? Wow. See? Like, what is going on there? And it did the same thing for, like, I tested the Windows 3.11 install. Setup wouldn't run on there. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I'm gonna have to like boot from the DOS installer disk, copy the files over. Hopefully I only will need to copy over the one with the setup in it, and then swap disks when need, but we'll find out later. At first I'm gonna see if I can get this the network card to run, so be back. Alright, I probably should have filmed this part, but it detected it right away. That's kind of bizarre. I was not expecting that. So, I mean, I can't put the IP stack on here, but at this point, I'm gonna do the net buoy. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. And so yeah, this is installing from the, I copied the installer files from the hard drive, so it's should be good. The TCP/IP stack is on the second disk, which I didn't have copied over. I want to do that. No, not at this point. Not at this point. So, anyway. Alright, on the next boot, we have the Recom Etherlink 3 driver. Oh, is it? And, let's do that. I am, kind of shocked, in a way. I mean, like, this board, I mean, I'm going off of the, like, NE 2000 and the AT&T PC 6300, about configuration with jumpers and everything else. This saw it right away, and everything is working as it should. So if I go into here, what I need to do is set up a share. Hold up. All right, I created a share on this Windows 98, and let's map a drive, and let's browse, see if no, actually, you know what? At this point, I don't think sharing ever browse. S230. Yup. Okay. Let's exit that. Let's go on the M drive. All right. So I'll copy over the Windows 3.11 installer, the first disk, and let's see what happens. Or should I do the sound card? No, we'll find out. Alright, so the Windows 98 machine is copying over the 3.11 disk 1. So should I try it like this first, where I just have disk 1 and then do the disk swap, if it will work? See, that's a good question. So all of that's on there. Now that's disk 1. Should I just copy everything over? Let's see what happens. Ah! My mind went blank there. Oh yeah. It requires a 386. That makes 100% sense. I will put Windows 3.0 on here as the last one that will run on this type of hardware. Oh man, I'm embarrassed. Wow. Okay then. No, I never even had a 3.0 on disk, so copying the files over the same installation that I used on the AT&T. So now we have install, and let us run setup. I need to find out why the mouse doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. More than likely it doesn't, but yeah, let's install Windows. We have VGA, PS2. Yep. Everything looks good. So, okay, so this was not lit up before Windows started, so I guess it needed some Windows mouse driver for something. Anyway, network software has not been installed. Network options will not be. Okay. I think it was the first time ever installed with networking on. Do not set up printers. No, and set that up. Yeah, let's do this. And you know what? I think this is the first time I've seen Windows 3.0 in a VGA setup install. Is this the best it can do, actually? VGA 640 by 480 to 16, probably. I wonder if there are special drivers, actually. What is the VGA on here? Well, I'll find that out and see if there are any special drivers. And after this gets installed, let's try to install the Sound Blaster. So, check out that speed. Program Manager groups. But all in all, though, I mean, it did install pretty quickly. Yeah, go ahead, do it. Oh. Yeah. Didn't need to do that. Didn't need to scan all that. Just wanted to scan the paths. Oh well. Yeah, let's add all, whatever. And have a new program group. Okay. Let's see how well this works out for us. It's interesting, I do have a net folder here. So that's good. I already copied this over. Let's see if we can install it from Windows. See what happens. It's going to be a DOS thing anyway. Okay. So it's that card. Let's see what happens. It's a Sound Blaster 16 CT 2230. Not enough conventional memory is available. Well, let's not install under Windows then. Now, I mean, like, I probably should, well, okay, I'll do, like, a config at some point, to, you know, have different things, starting up, have the boot menu, because I think that will make sense. Alright, this looks okay. Okay. I'll come back. Oh, Microsoft Windows 3.1 path. It's 3.0. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Why not? I'll be back then. Alright, so I had a little problem with the Sound Blaster 16's auto config plug and play thing. Apparently it doesn't work on a 286, so we need to manually define that right there in the auto exec file. So with that in place, 3D, Wolf, 3D, let's see how well Wolfenstein 3D runs on this 286. Alright, cool. Yep. Alright, well. Yep. About as good as I would think. I'm playing this one-handed. But, yeah, okay. If I lower the screen size, let's see. No. Forget how to do that. Anyway. I'm missing sounds. Hold up. Let's see. Sound. So we have. Alright. Yeah, we're missing digitalized sound. Oh well. Hey, okay. Wait a second, but no, that's the thing though. Okay. Okay. That's it. Oh, that's it. That's laggy. That is laggy. But anyway, actually it does work. So at the end of this, I'll put it into its place. Okay, after much moving around, it's now in its proper home right now. So the way that this is all set up is this Dell, the Packard Bell 6300, 98 NAS, I guess. It's actually a Macintosh, actually. This compact, the Dell 8400, and the testing machine all go through this KVM, and it's on this keyboard and video. How this is set up now is the PS230 and the 286 and the 5646 SLC2 are connected to this KVM, and it's using keyboard, this mouse, and the screen. Sounds coming from there now, all set up through that. Oh yeah, so all the sound actually goes through this AV selector. So there you go. All in all, it is actually kind of a boring machine, but hard drive still works, and getting the sound card and network card in there. Can't put any more memory in it, unfortunately. Well, I can, but nah. So yeah, there we go. Have a good one.